the Bronze Fury.
Najjot Maziz Vermithor.
He is second to only Vhagar herself, a dragon so massive that when he roared, the ground trembled beneath him. Vermithor's story spans nearly a century, from a hatchling in a royal cradle to the blood-soaked fields of Tumbleton, where 3 dragons fought to the death in the most savage aerial battle the Dance of the Dragons would ever see. This is the complete story of Vermithor, the dragon who carried a king for 55 years, then died fighting for a blacksmith's bastard who dreamed of wearing a crown. In the year 34 after Aegon's conquest, a dragon's egg was placed in the cradle of newborn Prince Jaehaerys Targaryen by his sister Rhaena. The egg hatched, and from that moment, boy and dragon were bonded. The hatchling was bronze-scaled with great tan wings, and he was named Vermithor. 8 years later, when King Aenys I died, the young Vermithor joined Quicksilver and Silverwing in providing dragonflame for the funeral pyre at Dragonstone. But it was 2 years after that, in 44 AC, that Vermithor first proved his worth as more than ceremony. Jaehaerys, his sister Alysanne, and their mother were essentially prisoners of Dowager Queen Visenya on Dragonstone. When Visenya died, they seized their chance. Jaehaerys mounted Vermithor, Alysanne took Silverwing, and they escaped into the sky. 2 young royals fleeing on Dragonback toward their future. By 48 AC, Vermithor had grown into a formidable war dragon. At 14 years old, only Balerion the Black Dread and Vhagar were larger. And that year, when the tyrant Maegor the Cruel died, under mysterious circumstances, Jaehaerys flew to King's Landing on Vermithor and claimed the Iron Throne. The Bronze Fury had carried his rider to kingship. The bond between dragon and rider deepened with every flight. When Jaehaerys and Alysanne defied their mother's plans and secretly married, they again flew to Dragonstone on Vermithor and Silverwing. The 2 dragons would often be seen coiled together, a reflection of their riders' long and loving union. In 50 AC, when Rhaegar Baratheon feared punishment for his schemes during Jaehaerys' minority, the new king brought him to watch Vermithor feed. The message was clear. Every soul in the Stormlands was hostage to that bronze dragon's fire. Vermithor wasn't just a symbol. He was the teeth behind the king's justice. 4 years later came the crisis in Old Town. The High Septon had died, and a dangerous fanatic named Septon Matthias seemed poised to claim the role. Jaehaerys and Alysanne flew south, Vermithor landing in the plaza before the Starry Sept, while Silverwing perched atop the high tower itself. The message was unmistakable. The Faith elected a more moderate candidate. But it was in battle that Vermithor truly earned his reputation. In 61 AC, a warlord calling himself the Vulture King raided the Red Mountains. Jaehaerys joined Lord Rhaegar Baratheon to end the threat. While 500 men marched through the mountains, Jaehaerys rode Vermithor overhead, burning a dozen raider camps and directing his forces from the sky like a general commanding the heavens. When Rhaegar's traitor brother Boris was cornered, Jaehaerys landed Vermithor, drew Blackfire, and killed the man himself to spare his friend the stain of kinslaying. Vermithor watched, bronze scales gleaming in the mountain sun as justice was done. But the Fourth Dornish War in 83 AC would be Vermithor's greatest battle under Jaehaerys. Prince Morian Martell of Dorne launched a massive invasion fleet against the Stormlands, the largest Dornish fleet in living memory. The response was swift and devastating. Jaehaerys flew Vermithor, his sons Aemon and Balon rode Caraxes and Vhagar, and together the 3 dragons descended on the Dornish armada as it sailed north along the coast. Scorpion bolts and crossbow quarrels filled the air. None pierced dragon scales. Vermithor and his kin burned the entire fleet in a single day. Ships exploded, men burned. The sea itself seemed to boil. The war ended before it truly began, crushed beneath dragonfire. For over 50 years, Vermithor carried Jaehaerys, the first Targaryen, through wars, through peace, through the triumphs and tragedies of the longest reign in Targaryen history. And then, in 103 AC, King Jaehaerys the Conciliator died at the age of 69. Vermithor became riderless. For 26 years, Vermithor made his lair in the smoking caverns of Dragonmont on Dragonstone. He was nearly a century old now, massive and ancient. Only Vhagar, who had also lost her rider, Queen Visenya, decades before, was larger among living dragons. Balerion had died in 94 AC. The age of the great dragons was fading, but in 129 AC, the Dance of the Dragons erupted. King Viserys I died, and his children Rhaenyra and Aegon II went to war for the Iron Throne. Rhaenyra held Dragonstone and its dragons, but she needed riders. Prince Jaehaerys Valerion called for dragon seeds, bastards of Valyrian blood, to attempt to claim the riderless dragons. This event became known as the Red Sowing, and it was baptized in fire. Lord Gorman Massey approached Vermithor. The Bronze Fury burned him alive. Others tried and died. And then came a blacksmith's bastard named Hugh. He was big, strong, common-born. Nothing like the kings and princes who had ridden dragons before. But when Hugh stepped forward, something changed. Vermithor bent his neck. The Bronze Fury had chosen a second rider. Hugh called himself Hugh Hammer now. And he fought for Rhaenyra's cause with a dragon nearly 100 years old beneath him. In 130 AC, at the Battle of the Gullet, Vermithor proved he was still a terror of the skies. The Triarchy had sent 90 warships to support Aegon. Vermithor, Silverwing, Seasmoke, Vermax, and Sheepstealer descended on them like the wrath of the gods. The sea turned red with blood. Ships exploded in gouts of dragon flame. And Vermithor tore through the fleet with the same fury he'd shown against the Dornish decades before. But power corrupts, and Hugh Hammer had tasted power. When Rhaenyra took King's Landing, Hugh was knighted and given lands, but it wasn't enough. He wanted more. He wanted what Jaehaerys had possessed, a crown. At the first Battle of Tumbleton, Hugh and fellow dragon seed Ulf White betrayed Rhaenyra, joining Aegon's Greens. Vermithor, Silverwing, and Tessarion burned the town together. The sack of Tumbleton was savage, brutal, soaked in blood and fire. Hugh began calling himself Lord Hammer. He wore a crown of black iron. With Aegon missing and Prince Aemon dead, Hugh believed he should be king. After all, he rode the oldest, largest living dragon. Who could deny him? But ambition always demands a price. In the depths of night, Adam Valerian led 4,000 men in a surprise attack on Tumbleton, riding the dragon Seasmoke. The camp erupted in chaos. Hugh Hammer rushed to Mount Vermithor, but he never made it. Sir John Roxton, wielding the Valyrian steel sword Orphan Maker, cut him down before he could reach the saddle. Vermithor woke to carnage, riderless and furious. 40 knights attacked the Bronze Fury on the ground. Vermithor killed them all. Wounded, enraged, he took flight, but only about 20 feet off the ground, attacking friend and foe alike. He snatched up a fleeing knight in his jaws and burned Lords Piper and Deadings alive along with their men. Then Seasmoke, ridden by Adam Velaryon, slammed into Vermithor from above. The two dragons crashed to the battlefield, entangled, thrashing. Seasmoke was smaller, younger, no match for the ancient Bronze Fury. Vermithor bit down on Seasmoke's neck and ripped his head clean off. But Vermithor's wings were shredded, and then Tessarion joined the fight. All three dragons, Vermithor, Seasmoke, and Tessarion, killed each other in the most savage dragon battle of the dance. Vermithor tried to take flight with Seasmoke's head still clamped in his jaws, but his wings failed. The Bronze Fury collapsed and died on the blood-soaked field of Tumbleton. Later, when darkness fell, Silverwing returned. Singers claim she landed beside Vermithor's body and tried 3 times to lift his wing with her nose, as if urging him to fly again. Whether that's truth or legend, we may never know, but this much is certain. Vermithor, who had carried a king for 55 years, died fighting a bastard's war. The Bronze Fury's roar was silenced, and with him fell one of the last great dragons of old Valyria. From cradle to battlefield, from Jaehaerys the Conciliator to Hugh the Betrayer, Vermithor's story is one of loyalty, power, and the brutal cost of ambition. He was the second largest dragon of his time, a living weapon that shaped Westeros for a century. What do you think? Was Hugh Hammer worthy of riding the Bronze Fury? Or did Vermithor deserve a better end? Let me know in the comments. And if you want more deep dives into the dragons of Westeros, hit that subscribe button. The Dance of the Dragons has only just begun. Valar Morghulis.